Hello and welcome everyone to another special edition of the Xbox Factor podcast. I'm your host, Mr. BoomStick XL, and for the next 60, 70 minutes or so, we're going to be sitting down with some of not only the most respected, but the best PlayStation representatives that I currently know within our gaming circle. I am proud to sit down today with Mr. Badbit, BitCloud Gaming, and Gaming Forte for a lot of reasons. Now, obviously, the other two gentlemen will be here momentarily. I'm sitting right now with Mr. Badbit. Mr. Badbit, first of all, welcome back to the program.
What up?
And I cannot wait to get your opinions and your thought process of this monster blockbuster deal that literally split the internet open. But you just sat down with your best friend Kyle, and in your opinion, dropped one of your personal top 5 trophy rooms. Tell the fine folks that are listening here, and we have quite a few people already here, not only about the trophy room, but about the episode that you guys just recorded.
Yeah, man. I mean, y'all know the Trophy Room. It's a PlayStation podcast made by the players for the players. Where me and my best friend Kyle talk about the latest and greatest in all things PlayStation. This week, I don't think it was like the greatest, PlayStation was. But honest to God, how many conversations have we seen online that like people pretend to be, lawyers, engineers?
I was just going to ask you, the lawyers came out in full force.
Yeah, we didn't spend 10 minutes on mergers and acquisitions. But really, it's about going. I think the first half of that show was going through the motions of like, okay, so this has happened, and what are our raw thoughts on, and then taking our audience's questions, and then I honestly think the second half of that episode was conversations that I have not heard anybody bring up on podcast or podcast conversations and Twitter circles. So yeah, it was a really fantastic show. And it really is us not saying that Phil Spencer's the devil, but actually giving him a lot of compliments throughout this whole episode. So, go check it out after you're done here. But it was a really fine show. And some of the points you're going to hear today as well.
I'm looking forward to the conversation. Just real quick, I got to get this out. Yesterday, I dropped X-Vlog episode number 12. It is currently the best episode I've ever dropped in the 12 since starting it, late last year. It's hitting almost 5,000 views. When I turn on my, it's doing good when you get the little confetti that YouTube does for you, which is pretty interesting. So if you missed out on it, I do break down what happened with this deal, my thoughts on what Sony is going to do, and the ramifications of what no Call of Duty on no mainstream Call of Duty, because obviously Warzone is not going anywhere. Like I said in the video, it's going to constantly get updates and new maps and new guns, and that's not going anywhere. So if you missed out on that, definitely after you're done watching this show, give that a click on the video on demand. And real quick, just for channel update, folks, in the push for 10K, which a lot of my peers, including King David, seem to think that I'm going to hit 10K by the week's end. I don't know so much about that because tomorrow is Friday. If you want to know the sub count, we are currently 205 subs away from 10,000 subscribers. It's been a long 4-year journey, but I only started doing live content about 3 years ago. So if you are someone that is just finding the channel, I don't ask for pity subs. What I ask is that you check out the content and you make sure that your sub is going in a good direction. And I can assure you that we do not console war here. All the shows are PG-13. You're going to see that we are going to potentially get a significant amount of people in the chat. And
unless Joe forgets it's PG-13.
yeah. I mean, every now and again there's going to be a curse, but for the most part, we try to keep it. PG-13.
I have my bleep button ready.
Yeah.
So just in case I say, what's up.
There you go. I love it. That's so wonderful. Listen. we got to get to the crux as we wait for our two other guests. Joe, look, we got a chance to talk privately like we do regularly, which I love about our relationship. But what a lot of people want to know, because I've already talked about it, is where were you when this news dropped, and what is your raw reaction to seeing it? Because I know what mine was, which I will give again. I was stunned. I was coming up. Listen, folks, outside of podcasting, I handle all the house business because Mrs. Boomstick's to work. So I was just coming up from the dryer. I was bringing the wet clothes up. The dryer stuff was in. I'm ready to go. And
wait, the washer's not right next to the dryer?
No, because I'm bringing the wet clothes up, but the stuff was already in the dryer. So just to clarify that. Real life, folks. I actually do housework outside of being a podcaster. But I got a call from Asante, and I missed a call. I called him back immediately, and he tells me, "Boom, did you see the news?" And I'm like, "No, what are you talking about?" He goes, "Microsoft just bought Activision Blizzard." So I kind of sit there and I'm like, he's got to be pulling my leg. So he go, no, go to Twitter, go to Phil Spencer. And look, here's the thing. I see this and I'm like, this is a hack. Someone hacked Phil Spencer's account. This cannot be happening. And even through the 2 podcasts and the X vlog, and even still today, it almost feels surreal, to be honest with you, because they're Activision and it's Blizzard. But for you, Joe, where were you when you heard this? Could you even have fathomed something this big?
I just want to say I believe they put it out at 8:00 in the morning, right?
Yes, which was 5-something California time. If you look at the time for Phil Spencer, I don't know whether this was done. He did it at 5 in the morning, or he scheduled it. Yeah, it's more like he scheduled it.
Shout out to Microsoft for giving all PR people an hour head start to push every announcement back that they had by like a day or two. Shout out to them, because that, like, real talk, news happens at 9 a.m. or 12. So like, good on you, Phil. Secondly, I was asleep and I was waking up and I saw this. I was like, huh? And same thing. I'm like, nah, that's like they're just trolling me. And then no, I see another one from Phil Spencer. I'm like, huh? And I just woke up. So I was just like, all right, they don't really have any games that I'm interested in, so I'm all right. And I just go about my day. And as I'm walking down the stairs, as again, it has not fazed me, my brother, who isn't a big gamer, he's more of a casual, just like, Joe, did you just see? He's like, I got this from I think New York Times or whatever. Yeah. He's just like, it happened. My brother, again, he's a casual, and he's been burned by Microsoft during the 360 age, and he's never gotten over it. There's only so many red rings this man could have until
I went through a dozen.
So he wasn't happy.
I understand.
Yeah, he was not happy with this news. He was like those the people on Twitter is like, the government needs to step in. But I'm like, Dan, when was the last Call of Duty you've played? He's like, that's not the point. I'm like, all right. So yeah, to me, on a personal note, this move doesn't affect me as a gamer because, I don't play Call of Duty like I once used to. When I take a look at Blizzard, I'm a Blizzard dummy. I'll buy it on every platform, so it doesn't faze me. And when I think of Blizzard, they're PC, so I'm playing Diablo on PC, y'all. So none of this really affects me much. But there's no argument here. This is huge because though I don't play Call of Duty like I once did, it is still the most popular game every single year.
It's
and
funny.
It's the most popular game on PlayStation.
Yeah. Well, for context, like I said in the video, Joe, last year, 2021, number 1, number 2, Call of Duty.
Yeah.
Right. Vanguard, number 1. It's a mess. Still number 1.
Yeah.
Right. Cold
War, and it didn't sell well to their standards, and it's still number 1.
Could you imagine that? Yeah.
Yeah.
2020. Number 1, Cold War. Number 3, Modern Warfare. Go back to 2019. Number 1 for PlayStation, and by a country mile. PS, by the way, Modern Warfare.
Yeah.
Number 1. And I didn't want to continue to keep going back because obviously it's the point has already been made. This is a big deal.
This is the first move, not to say that like the Bethesda deal didn't hurt PlayStation, but this is the first one that is the true, oh damn, our profits are going to look a hell of a lot different. Because the big ticket items that sell first and second may not be on our platform anymore, in 2 to 3 years. So what do we do? That is a real take to have. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's well, look, one of the big reports that came out of Tokyo specifically was from Bloomberg that when this deal was announced, PlayStation proper or Sony lost 13%.
Yeah.
That was the biggest drop in revenue in percentage for that company since 2008. And obviously, we know what happened then.
Yes. So like the global crash in 2008, and that was when Sony was at its worst, when they accepted the deal from Marvel to put Spider-Man in the MCU. And that is something I feel like a lot of people are missing here. Okay.
Yes.
And because, let's get the doom and gloom shit out of the way. Sony isn't dead. Sony isn't going anywhere, or PlayStation's not dead. They're not going anywhere. They now have to do crazy stuff. So circa 2008, where we saw a Spider-Man enter the MCU, this means that Sony has to take some huge risks, and they're going to need to get weird again. That's exciting. No matter if it fails or whatever, just the prospect of a big AAA company doing something different. How many times we get the same, they're the same games over their shoulder. This is exciting. Now, I also want to say, when it comes to that drop, that's a big ass drop. I want to know how it rebounds in the next coming weeks.
Pricing, please, I'm not sure whether you're aware. It's, folks, if you didn't hear the story, and this is, we're not pointing fingers and laughing. People lost jobs over this probably, and that is a concerning factor here.
Mm-hmm.
$20 billion, Joe.
Yeah.
20, not million, $1 billion was lost on Sony's side with the simple announcement of this deal.
Yeah. So it goes to, again, how big this move is, and the shareholders going, can you really do not a deal like this, but can you actually do what Game Pass says it can do? Right.
Yeah.
And that is, can you adapt to this? And again, I feel like a lot of people are just reading this as like doom and gloom. I bet in the boardrooms, it was really hard to convince anybody, hey, we need to do something because Microsoft's coming. Now, this is the first time that in the boardroom that Sony proper is probably going to infuse PlayStation with even more cash so that they could go out there and do something because they've been hurt. And what I mean by that is more than the simple the acquisition season talk. It is more like, okay, start making some games that are gonna do something here in terms of like, all right, we really now need a shooter. We now really need this multiplayer thing. Now we really need RPGs. That's the conversations that are happening in this boardroom. Not like, all right, so here's $5 and go buy Square Enix. It's more. it's more than that.
Here's some allowance money. Go buy Square Enix. They're only worth $5.6 billion.
Exactly. Here you go. Go buy a Sega. Like, it's not like that.
Yeah, $3.6 billion.
Yeah.
Joe, before we let you continue, I want to welcome in my brother, the 10K man himself, Mr. IGN.
Oh, you about to be there in a few months?
Actually, I am 205 subs away. 205.
Guys, hit that like button or hit that subscribe button. Let's get them there.
Big Cloud, first of all, brother, it's so great to have you here. I know that you're going to be a part of tomorrow's Breakfast with Boom. This is a special day for me personally because, like I explained to Joe, and I want to reiterate it because you're my brother. You, Joe, and Gaming Forte, who will be here momentarily. Now, Forte himself isn't really a PlayStation guy, but he's a well-versed representative of the community, and you are as well. And we are going to get your opinions about this incredible deal that happened, and get your raw emotions on what Sony does. But first of all, welcome to the program. It's great to have you.
Thanks for having me.
My pleasure, brother. Joe, please continue because
Oh, sure.
you bring up an amazing point.
Yeah.
Go there. It because this deal isn't going to take finish signing, right? To the it's estimated.
Yeah.
June 2023 is when it's estimated that the deal goes through. And what that does is something that is an expensive commodity in gaming, and that's time.
Yeah.
It allows Microsoft, it allows Sony or SIE proper to pivot, to make some moves. Now, what you're talking about boardroom, right? And this is something that we don't really get into as podcasters because we can't say. We can assume, we can potentially project. We're not boardroom guys. That's just not our thing. What is happening right now after this announcement? Because you said something pretty interesting. And I have a hard time believing it. And I'm not calling you a liar. I'm saying that you are onto something.
Yeah.
But you are in a firm belief that Jim Ryan, who is a businessman through and through. If you don't know what made Jim Ryan who he is, well, it was a 7-to-1 ratio, PlayStation versus Xbox in the UK. He dominated that market, and it was because of his leadership that happened.
Yeah.
You seem to believe that he didn't know this was happening.
No, because real talk, if someone knew, this would have been leaked. Like if someone really close or yeah, this would have been leaked a minute ago.
Yep.
Or at least we would have heard bigger murmurs than what Jeff Grubb said a few days ago. So no, I don't think he knew. I think the first few hours were panic, and the call with Bobby, and probably Bobby gave him a courtesy call right beforehand. So maybe he knew a few hours before or a few days before. But again, I think only a very, very select few knew. But again, what's happening in that boardroom is probably the realest conversation that they're going to ever have as a company of how can we respond? Can we actually respond? And what does our future look like? What does our roadmaps look like?
Oh, you're gonna love what I gotta say.
What's that?
I said you're gonna love what I gotta say because
I mean, go for it, man. I've been talking too much.
Oh no, I mean, so obviously, big deal. They changed the landscape. Basically,
overnight.
If you go off of what casuals buy these systems for, not hardcore, right? We buy it for the first party, all that stuff, but we go by casuals. Casuals buy these consoles for 3 main games: Madden, NBA, Call of Duty. They bought one of the third most driving games in this industry. That's just by itself. I'm not even going to put Crash Bandicoot, which is ironic. Spyro the Dragon, which is ironic.
I'm not on a journey.
Yeah, I'm not even going to throw those 2 games in the mix, which is very ironic. I'm not going to talk about those, but I'm going to go off of just that one game by itself. You know what's funny? You ever heard that conversation we had multiple times, Boom, and a lot of people were acting weird towards us about what Phil Spencer said about Game Pass being on PlayStation?
Yes.
Remember how he never gave up on that idea of the concept of it, and a lot of people laughed in his face type of thing?
Yeah.
He now has the biggest leverage in the industry to
absolutely
pull that decision and go, hey, guys, listen, if you guys want Call of Duty, you know what you got to do. Put Game Pass on PlayStation.
Yeah.
Now,
and take off your shirt, Mr. Ryan. Yeah.
Yeah, that's it. That's it. And you know what's funny? You know what's funny about it, too? A lot of people are like, well, it's not going to be exclusive. Now, you know what's funny? We had the same conversation about Bethesda games.
Yeah.
Starfield was at the crux of the conversation. And see, that's the thing that's interesting. Fallout 76 not exclusive to Xbox. That game still lives. Elder Scrolls Online, which by the way has gotten incredible updates, still available on PlayStation. And Warzone, which folks, if you're unaware, the amount of money Warzone makes per month, it's egregious.
Yeah.
So
I would argue it's more important than the annual Call of Duty.
It's 100% more important because it's the new hotness.
Yeah.
Right. What I'm playing right now is Cold War. I play it for the single player. I don't do it for the multiplayer. The multiplayer, even though it's there, it doesn't live like it used to. Warzone is where it lives now.
Yeah.
And that is not going away. That's going to get constant map updates, constant weapon updates.
That stuff, that like Warzone, that's gonna still be obviously a thing on the PlayStation because it's contract obligations. They sign all this stuff way before they signed the check to go, hey, you belong with us now. You know what I mean? So basically, it's going to be the same thing with Bethesda. All their obligations are going to be met first. Yeah. That's why you see the reports coming out saying, oh, these games still might come to PlayStation. Well, of course they're going to come to PlayStation because they're contracted. They signed
Diablo 4,
right? Those games
Overwatch 2.
Exactly. All those games are dropping, and then because the deal is going to be finalized next year. By the time that deal is finalized, all these contracts were already been pretty much done in terms of like what was going to be fine print, what was done going forward. So probably by the time like around, let's say 2024, I would say. A lot of people saying 2023. I think 2024 at the lowest would be like the last Call of Duty or major release you'll probably see from Activision on the PlayStation. And then after that, Phil will basically say the magic words. Call of Duty is only available on Xbox Game Pass supported platforms. And once he said that, that's right there. And it's funny. A lot of people are going, but it's going to remain multiplayer. I mean, it's already multiplayer if you think about what I just said, because Game Pass is where everywhere. It's on multiple devices. So it's going to remain multiplayer in that particular aspect. But I do see that being the case. A lot of people are really thinking Microsoft wouldn't do it. Again, Microsoft is out for one thing, and King David brought up multiple times. It's the engagement number. It's about getting that Game Pass number to a point where people will be like, yo, I want in on that service. And they're at 25 million right now. So 25 million as of right now, this right here will easily boost that by another 10, 15 by the time that's officially done. And mind you, when they really start pushing Call of Duty again, that's when it's really going to matter with this deal as well, because one of the biggest thing, like, there's a thing about this too. Like I said in my video, it's a gift and a curse type of thing to a lot of people, but really, I look at this kind of like a blessing. So I see it as a blessing. This right here pretty much saved Activision. Bobby Kotick had to go.
Oh, 100%. It's funny. We did actually talk about that, and I want you to elaborate on that. See, I in the green room, one of the things that many podcasts, many videos that were made, and there was quite a few really, really great ones, and of course, pretty terrible ones. The human element of this deal is something that I understand. This is a video game program. I understand you want to rah Xbox. I'm there for you. I'm just excited as you. But I just want us to all, we have over 500 people here. I want to thank everyone for taking the time to be here, to check out the show, to check out Double Barrel Gaming. I just want to take 5 seconds, folks, of your time. Now, with this channel that I built all single-handedly, and by the seat of my pants, by the way, no training, no technical skills whatsoever. This is by the seat of my pants. Community, the human element, has, and will always be the center of what my wife and I do on this channel. You matter. Every one of us matters. Gay, straight, Catholic, Jewish, it doesn't matter. Race, creed, color, religion, sexual orientation, everyone is loved and welcomed here. With that said, we have to just take a step back and understand that these people that make the games that we love were under the dictatorship of the devil. And I'm talking about Bobby Kotick. Yeah. He knew these things were going on. He has been already basically confirmed that he destroyed evidence to cover it up. Microsoft, if you didn't know, is the #1 place in the world to work because of their ideologies, right? Everyone matters, inclusive, right? That is what we want. Do you understand that forget PlayStation versus Xbox versus the
Yeah, this
world?
isn't about that.
The
Yeah.
people
Yeah.
are going to live better lives over this.
You
know,
and let me
kills
just
me?
say,
You know what kills me when people
Go for
say
it.
like that they don't care about that type of conversation.
They should care about it.
But then they act like they care when we hear stories of crunch, et cetera, when it's to push agendas. That's what kills me about this. But go ahead.
Yeah, and we kind of go through that on the trophy room this week of like it's. And shout out to our good friend Luke Lore as well. I shit on him too much, but like he
love Luke.
he really got me through it because in the beginning I was this was why I was upset. Like I didn't feel good about this acquisition because not because PlayStation, but it's like, you know, a lot of people are like cheering on like Bobby Kodak's gone, he's getting fired. I'm like, guys, you're missing the point. He won. He survived the gauntlet.
He's getting estimated.
He gets to retire. He doesn't he doesn't resign.
$100 million golden parachute for being the biggest scumbag in gaming.
And here's the thing. It hurts.
I see a light at the end of the tunnel, though.
Yeah,
I really do. And
it hurt to see Phil Spencer back in like October, November going, we're reevaluating the partnership. And now in reality, it's like, well, you were reevaluating the partnership by giving him a shit ton of cash. And that was the first time I think we saw CEO talk. At least I did from him. And that wasn't chill. But what Luke told me is like, and it's so true because I was in my feelings at that point. It's just like, dude, no matter what, this guy, whether he resigns, whether he gets fired, whether he gets that bonus check, whatever, doesn't matter. He's still super stupid rich and a piece of crap.
He's going to buy an island and just live life out.
Yeah.
Yes.
So it's just like, you know, that sucks, but at least he's gone now. And you're totally right. When you take a look at the, you know, the diverse executive board that Microsoft has and all the pronouns that are going to get 5 people upset on Twitter. It's awesome to see that, like, yeah, you saw people go, hey, congratulations, you know, all my future employees of Microsoft, and Bobby Kotick, go yourself. Like, that was see, I got the bleep button in time.
I love it. That's wonderful.
So like that was awesome to see that they're like, yeah, and they did have to pull the tweet down. Microsoft didn't tell them like, hey, don't tell Bobby to go kick a, you know, go jump off a cliff.
Right.
Yeah. So like it's just that was awesome to see because you're seeing employees speak their mind, and I dig that a lot. So I'm over it on that end as well because there's nothing I can do.
So when you have Activision and a company that has been pretty straightforward with one style, right, when it comes to putting their games, you can clearly see under Bobby Kotick, the innovation, the love, the desire is not there. Like it's reflected in the games. You know what I'm saying? All these games feel the same. Cash traps, unnecessary, you know, stuff. No upgrades to what you truly want. I see this being like a bright light at the end of the tunnel type of thing with them being pushed by Microsoft. Because one, you can see new games being pushed by them for one. Number two, more effort will be put into these games in terms of giving you the proper experience. And personally, with them doing this, you know, it's kind of symbolic in a weird way because I remember with the 360, Microsoft was the one really pushing the Call of Duty like franchise in terms of partnerships and everything with the DLC. You know what I mean? Like them getting first dibs. Now they pretty much own it. And this could be their poster boy for Game Pass. And if they're going to do that, I do expect them to go, hey, guys, them servers, I want them fixed. I want them dedicated servers. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I want these stories to be memorable. I want people to go, you know what? Call of Duty's back. I want Call of Duty to feel like an event, like Modern Warfare 2 when we had it at its prime, or Modern Warfare 3. They want that. Yeah.
Yeah. And dude, and here's the thing as well. You know, I saw a lot of people with the anti-merger talk again. I get it. Because usually when we see these big mergers, we then see the layoffs that happen afterwards. I totally get it. But if we are still following the same logic with the Bethesda merger,
no one got laid off.
Nobody got laid off.
No.
In fact, the company grew. They were hiring. It's just nuts.
The only thing that we
all the
saw
idiots, they gotta go.
right from the jump, and it should have given you confidence as to what Microsoft was going, how they were going to handle it.
Yeah.
It was reported by the New York Times, which I pulled for one of the videos, that dozens upon dozens of pink slips were handed out the minute this was announced, of everyone that was even remotely linked to the sexual misconduct that was going on. So, I mean, they make this announcement, and at the same time, here are the dozens upon dozens of people they're firing for these antics.
And they have to do that because they want they want Microsoft to buy them. So like, it's really, to me, the thing that excites me here is like Toys for Bob. Hopefully we can rip vicarious visions out of Blizzard. And instead of, when you're taking those people out so that they can make your Crash Bandicoots and your awesome remakes,
Your
and your Spyros and your Banjos, right?
Oh yeah, I forgot about Banjo.
You can infuse the Call of Duty studios with people. with the people that you're replacing and then some. So, that's the one thing, again, I also think people are missing here is like, no, this is actually kind of exciting because, yeah, sure, Guitar Hero, I'll never play it on PlayStation, but we'll actually maybe get another Guitar Hero.
Good. The first one they should do is Guitar Hero Kiss, which is my favorite band of all time.
Who did DJ Hero?
Is it really?
My favorite band of all time.
Boom.
Yes.
I immediately thought of you with the face paint, and I can't unthink of that.
You want to talk about DJ Hero?
Yeah.
I literally,
That's what I missed.
Big Cloud, right here next under my desk, I have the turntable and the stand. It's brand new.
Nice.
Oh, the Eminem inspired one?
Brand freaking new.
Dude, I'm pissed. I wanted that one. I got the OG one. It's in a backpack in my closet. I got the OG one. Such a good experience. But dude, if we ever got that, like, let's say remade for the current consoles, like just reintroduced, I think it could be a fucking seller.
It would be ridiculous. But you know what I want to do before I get into what we want, what do we expect Sony to do here? I want to catch up on some of the super chats. First of all, the first one of the day comes to us from Jacob Novick, who drops a $5 super chat and says Sony are really scared now because they answered with a demand to still have Call of Duty, and I feel sad for them. I really do, but they can't decide that, sadly. I mean, we're going to talk about what they actually said. What the and again, this is just a representative. There's no big name. It's not Jim Ryan saying this, so we'll tread lightly because it's an unnamed person for Sony saying, no, we expect Call of Duty to remain on. Sure, they do that, but of course they don't specify that they mean Warzone. Chris R drops a very generous $5 super chat and says, I'm excited as an Xbox fan, but also excited as a PlayStation fan to see how they will respond. Competition is good. Indeed, it certainly is.
Can I delve on what you just said there, competition? So with this right here, and I think Joe will agree personally. And personally, again, this comes back to certain tweets we've been seeing, Boom. You ever notice why we kept seeing Resistance get tweeted around, SoCon get tweeted around? 100%. I think they knew deep down. They knew this was coming. And they know they need a multiplayer game. And how long have we been saying they need a multiplayer game? But people are like, oh, they don't need them. Single players where it's at. No, you need a multiplayer game. Mm-hmm. Now they're working on fixing that. But at the same time, this kind of makes you wonder, are we going to get that PS3 gen Sony now? Are they?
Yeah. Do we get a full on kill zone?
Do we get the foot on your neck Sony where they come out and dropping games after games? They're gonna have to. Because right now, like Sony has been relaxed and they've just been enjoying the fruits of the labor of the PS4. You know what I mean? They've been dropping announcements, good announcements, right? But let's face it, a lot of these games have not been crazy memorable. Even Joe would tell you they haven't been crazy memorable. We like Returnal, but is Returnal up there in terms of like you playing it more than what you've been playing any other game lately? Is it up there? You know what I mean? Is it?
I put 88 hours in it.
You play 88 hours. You put 88 hours. You beat the game.
Yeah,
you
also
put a lot of hours like I did. Yeah, I platinumed it too.
Very hard to do, by the way.
Yeah, we both platinumed it. But the thing is, you got to think about all this other stuff. You know what I mean? It's like all these games have like a certain limit for for the most part.
That's actually like when we bring up games like Returnal, that's what actually kind of has me excited, because Returnal isn't like your standard PlayStation game. In fact, it's not for the faint of heart. It's a hard ass game, man.
It's a ball breaker.
It's a ball breaker for sure. Yeah. So like, it's cool that like, yeah, go out there and do something different. And you're right. That I think me and Bit are usually on the same page with literally everything. And just same here. It's literally like you're seeing them be different and going out there. And yes, Bit, I think you're completely right here, where it's like, you're going to see them make AAA games. You're going to see them make AA games. You're going to see them infuse even more indies with cash. You're going to see them do things. It's easy to say, we want them to buy
Rockstar,
because we want to take GTA away from millions of people because we're hurt. It's like, no, stop it. It's beyond that. Simpletons have those conversations. We're grown ass people here, man. Yes. That's the thing where I'm like, I get it why this news hurts right now. Again, like we're like in the beginning of the trophy room, it's like we're going through the stages of grief. But right now, how I'm seeing this is forcing Sony to do something crazy. Yeah, this isn't like end of days here.
So Joe, I had a conversation with a PlayStation developer about this, where dude was just saying monopoly with the whole Activision thing. We were talking about this because a lot of people were posting. I don't know if y'all saw it on Twitter. Yeah. They were posting the actual worth of the companies, like Ubisoft. Yep. They were like, it's worth $6 billion.
Jeff Keighley actually posted that on. Yeah. I mentioned it on the X vlog. He specifically broke down
everybody's
the market cap value for each company.
Now, you know what's funny about the market cap?
What's that?
Every one of those companies is worth less than $69 billion.
Yes, there was some talk. How come Microsoft didn't just buy everyone? Well, because then that would be a monopoly.
That would be a monopoly. Yeah, this right here was a big strategic plan to get Game Pass. Like, if you weren't looking at Game Pass, you were looking at it now, because this is going to be the home of Call of Duty. That's just it. They don't even have to advertise Crash Bandicoot. They don't have to advertise Banjo. All you got is
it's interesting that you guys say that, because one of the biggest misses, one of the big gaps in Xbox Game Pass, and I've been beating this drum for a new Banjo, and people are sick and tired of me saying it.
No,
is
keep
the
saying
kid-friendly game. Yeah. And when you see, and again, see, that's the thing that's also, we talked about the human element, right? Which is incredibly important to this conversation, important to me. But we also have to take a step back and say, something, for the first time in over 5 years, every one of these teams that are now first-party developers for Xbox are going to be allowed to do what they're passionate about doing. Toys for Bob makes kid games, not Call of Duty, but under Bobby Kotick, they had to, right? High Moon Studios, you remember them? They made the 2 best Transformer games in the history of that Hasbro franchise. How about Ravensoft, makers of Singularity, one of the best nobody played games on the Xbox 360? And PS, by the way, they worked on Marvel Ultimate Alliance. Okay. What about Sledgehammer Games? Yeah, sure. Can they make a good Call of Duty? But what if they wanted to make their own new IP?
Ambitious version of it, you know what I mean?
Have fun.
Yeah. Treyarch is usually the innovators in the Call of Duty license. Imagine if Treyarch was to make the new trend type of thing, you know what I mean? Like, really go outside their box and not be tied by a Call of Duty tag. Instead, make what's called a passion project and really take what they learn and push stuff forward. That's the thing that you should be excited for.
Yeah. But, and the on the other end of like Sony, it's like, all of a sudden they're missing military shooter on their platform.
That's why we got Deviation Games. Remember that?
That's why we got Deviation.
Yeah.
That's why we're
like, where's Deviation Games? All these Call of Duty devs. At first, it doesn't dwell on you, because everybody's like going, "Well, why would you get Call of Duty developers when you have Call of Duty on the box?" Now it's like, oh, I see what you're doing on here.
Now we got to make some. Now we got to make some big boy decisions.
Yeah.
And here's the thing.
Yeah, Joe.
We got SOCOM, man. We can finally bring it back.
You literally took the words right.
That's exciting.
That is, of course, exciting.
That's exciting, dude. That was the heyday for me back in the PS2 and PSP. Those was my jam, dude.
Was SOCOM 1 and 2, and 2 was better, leaps and bounds better than 1.
Dude, when these games get shown, I'm just gonna have the biggest smile because my videos are gonna be rapid because I've been calling this for long. It's like, dude, you don't tweet these type of games out like this. You don't keep doing this if you don't have nothing in store for the future. People go, no, it's not gonna happen, dude. It's happening. Resistance had a very well-received multiplayer. Yes. Everybody's been asking for multiplayer. And also, another game keeps getting trademarked all over the place. And that's the Order 1886 sequel.
Let me
tell you something. How long have we been saying that game needs multiplayer? And it would have done better.
I want to throw this out there to the masses. If we have almost 700 people here. And if you're new, I do politely ask that you subscribe. We're just about 200 away from 10K. It would be amazing to hit that this weekend. With that said, go take $5 underneath your couch. I'm sure there's under the couch cushions. You'll find like $5. Go take that $5 and do yourself a flavor and go buy the Order 1886. I don't care what anyone tells you. 5, 6, 7 hours. You're gonna pop the disc in and you're gonna say, "Holy shit, how did I miss out on this game?" And if that's getting a sequel because of what has happened and it transpired over the course of the last 2 days, we're all better for it as Sony fans. But before let me catch up on some of the super chats. We've had quite a few. Outbreak Podcast, good friend, always in the chat first. He drops a $2 super chat and says, "Call me greedy." Does Xbox buy more studios? You know what? We're going to answer that question on tomorrow's Breakfast with Boom because the simplistic answer is yes, but not what you think. And I'm going to tell you, we'll break down that as to why and who will be coming into the fray. John Wolf, good friend of the show, who I'm going to be sitting down with soon, hopefully, until we get our schedules together, and we're going to be talking about this big merger. He drops a $5 super chat and says, Sony's strategy is now to turn the fans on Microsoft as indicated by today's statement. Time for PlayStation to stop crying and create your own Call of Duty Spider-Man on Xbox. Wow. I hope that didn't come from anybody in Sony, because if it did, that's not good. Dan Lazaro, a good friend of the show, he drops a $5 super chat and says, everyone is sleeping on Sierra games. Not me. Sierra is OG classic.
No, I will. Everybody, listen, it's the 90s. You know what was popular back in the 90s? Windbreakers. Let's get over Sierra.
Oh, yeah. And fanny packs.
Oh, yeah.
Fanny packs. And Mohawk. Or no, not Mohawks.
I have a Mohawk. Hold on a second.
No. Mullets. There you go. That's what I was thinking. Mullets. I actually did. Real talk. I when I was shaving my head, I had a Mohawk. I was like, I kind of look like a Hispanic Viking. I was debating on keeping it.
You should have kept it.
I think I should have. But yeah, no.
He says, Leisure Suit Larry made the man that I am today. That's a classic OG.
God, that game ain't coming back.
No, probably not. Not in these days and age.
You know, it'd be amazing. You know, it'd be amazing. I just thought about this. This was like an idea, with Sony needing a shooter. Y'all remember that movie Starship Troopers?
I do. Hell yeah.
Imagine that had
first one was great. Everything else was just terrible.
Imagine they did something like that, Starship Troopers, and it had a great story of multiplayer.
I look, Joe, you said something in the beginning. This is an opportunity to Sony to get weird again.
Yeah.
And a weird Sony is a good Sony. Awesome. FYI. Jay the Earp, who has an umbrella logo, that's dope, drops an outstanding $5 of chances. Activision has Vigilante 8, just saying. Vigilante 8, folks, was dope AF. I love that. Killantis, good friend of the show, he drops a $5 super chat and says, Xbox is here to stay. Go Dogs. And we also have Jacob Novick drops an additional $2 super chat and says, I stand with Boom and company. Equality is over games. 100%. That's a
hell yeah,
fantastic way of saying it. And quality is incredibly important and lost in a lot of these conversations that are currently happening. Alex is a Valve drops a very generous $7 super chat. Thank you for that, Alex. He says, personally, I feel the acquisition was great in so many ways. This truly pushes the industry and in return gives us more things to come. 100%. Absolutely. And I think value is going to be a big, talking point. For anyone that gets into Xbox Game Pass. Nightwolf 3186, good friend of the show, he drops a $10 super chat and says, "Boom, great show today. Curious if you guys will take a drive to Speculation Town today or any of the shows discussing all the possibilities of IPs. One keeps coming to mind: X-Men Legends remake." Yeah, it's funny. I'm already working on Monday's primetime gaming. And a good friend of this community, who is one of the voices of the Gaming Circle podcast on Saturdays, Kay Asante, actually acquired a list of all of the IPs that are now Microsoft. And my God, the IPs that they could bring back. He's going to be taking the lead in that discussion on Monday, which OBM, One Bad Mother from Xbox Era, is going to be joining us to talk about the legality.
Such a great dude.
Oh, he's an amazing dude. Absolutely.
Smart dude, yeah.
And we also have, we had a big one just come in. Northbound Views. Welcome to the program there, brother. He drops an outstanding $5 super chat and says, "I love this channel." Well, dude, that means a lot to me. Thank you. Hey, Boom, do you think that Xbox will continue to acquire smaller, ideal studios like Crystal D? Yeah, I do. There's a couple of them that I think that are close, if not already done. Some of them are private, so they don't have to report it. IO being one of them. The Crystal D one, look, we're going to get into what Sony does next. A lot of people are suggesting they should buy Square. I disagree with Square. I don't think Square is the answer because they're already getting those games exclusive. They don't need to buy Square for exclusivity. They're getting basically, why buy the farm when they just walk out the door and the cow is right there to give them the milk? So they don't have to do that. I think that if you've looked at what Square Enix has done, specifically in public facing, has not been really, there haven't been really kind words coming out of them from both for Crystal Dynamics and also, believe it or not, makers of my favorite game of last year, Guardians of the Galaxy, Eidos Montreal. They didn't throw them under the bus as vicious, but they weren't happy. We're just not happy with the sales. They're never happy with the sales. I think they're trying to, based on some wordage, get back to being a very tight-niched Japanese company, kind of close their borders a little bit. And I think that those two studios will be joining Microsoft. I can't say this year. I can't say next year. I think soon. I think that we're going to hear something soon because this deal is going to take almost 15 months to finalize. So I can see them getting the IO Interactive, potentially Asobo, maybe Crystal D and Eidos, adding those studios to, because they're going to pull a Sony. Sony added a lot of studios that no one gave them credit for last year on companies and developers they've worked with for years. And I think you're going to start to see that with Microsoft as well. But thank you, brother, for the super chat. We also have Aaron JF94 drops a $2 super chat and says, did you hear Colin's reaction on Sacred Symbols? I did not. I have to catch up with what Colin said. And knowing Colin, I don't know him personally. I've been supporting him, his works for years. I can only imagine what it is. I'm looking forward to hearing it. I'm sure that there's a lot of F's in the conversation because
he
doesn't like it. Let's just say he doesn't like it.
He doesn't like it, and he wants it to be more game focused as opposed to studio focused direction.
Because, I'm looking forward to it, but I kind of know what I'm going to get. We have Spider Monkey dropping an outstanding $5 super chat and says, "I don't see Sony buying someone big because the whole company is in debt. I see they're making small deals to survive. Not a hater, just facts." Well, the company itself is worth 150
big cloud.
The company
This man over here.
SIE, Sony as proper, is worth $150 billion. That is what they they at some point a few years ago they were in the red, but PlayStation and the dominance of that platform and
their movie TV division has never been stronger.
Well,
and I mean, like, not even just like Spider-Man alone, like they had James Bond, Ghostbusters, all did well for them.
Spider-Man No Way Home is closing in on $1.5 billion.
Which it just should be. Just give them another billion. Just do it. It was beautiful. It was perfect. I had a dumb triangle face for the last 40 minutes of that film. I was like,
yeah, I mean that's fine. It is what it is. But Ham Solo Gaming, who I interviewed me a couple of weeks ago, good dude. Definitely check out his channel. He drops a $2 super chat and says Xbox gets VR compatibility and drops Guitar Hero. Yeah, man, I'd be all over.
Oh my god! And you're like you're strumming and you're seeing a crowd.
That's dope.
Oh, dude, who said that?
That was Ham Solo. I love.
Get this guy a job somewhere.
It's not mad. Like they never made their own iteration of it, or at least announced big support for VR. That would have been it, personally.
Yeah. Damn.
Well, real quick,
M.
Rechord in the chat, who didn't leave a message. First of all, welcome to the program. He drops and just bounces. A $50 super chat. Holy shit. That's bonkers. But I am extremely grateful for the generosity. And I think at that point we are up to date. Look, guys, we expect this was only going to be a 60-minute program, but before we get on out of here, the big question, and there's no time limit to your answer, because obviously this is a conversational podcast. And I'll start with Joe first.
Yeah.
What does Sony do in response to this? What if you are taking over for Jim Ryan as he gets fanned to wake up? What moves are you personally making for Sony proper? Because like I said, we got to remember this deal doesn't get finished. Yeah. And ink doesn't dry.
They got a year and a half.
A year and a half. So you're going to get Call of Duties. You're going to get Diablo 4. You're going to get Overwatch 2 and several other contracted things. So Sony isn't going to be dried up and I don't have no games to play. You're going to have plenty of these games to play from both Blizzard and Activision. But this is such a monumental landscape changing move.
Yeah.
That they almost have to respond. I know that I've been in the camp, well, Sony just did this, so Microsoft needs to respond. And usually that's the wrong answer, right? Because they don't have to respond to one another. They're competitors, sure. But Joe, this is different. This is incredibly, this is near $70 billion difference. And, regardless of whether you are a Sony fan like me and really appreciate these AAA movie-like experiences, because that's what I love Sony for. They do take a lot of time to bake, sometimes as much as 5 years. Now, they do have some coming out. Horizon, I got the collector's edition, not the total.
My wife one. Angela's in it. Oh, Angela.
I said, girl, that's my girl right there. It's going to be an amazing game, right?
Yeah.
Carrie Ann Fisher confirmed.
Yeah.
Carrie Ann Moss. I'm sorry.
Yeah. So I mean, it's going to be an amazing game.
I remember her for Matrix 1, 2, and 3. We don't talk about the other one. Here's the thing. I just need to first go back to Ham's comment. Just think about it when you're looking down at the guitar in VR and like you're hitting the notes. And like when you mess up, you see your hand mess up, like with the guitar.
Dude, why isn't this a thing?
Again, like this is so awesome.
Hire Ham Solo, give this man some money.
God, that's the greatest idea I've ever heard in my life. Like when you heard $1 million idea, that is $1 million idea.
Especially when haptics,
you know what? If he gets on to Shark Tank, they're funding this guy's idea. 100%.
Yeah, I'm just now I'm like. now I'm head banging to 6 on the Guitar Hero track. Anyway, so it's a great question. Where does PlayStation go now? How much money do they have to spend? The thing is, I don't want like more consolidation. I really don't. Like the one thing that I mentioned on the trophy room was like the last thing I want anybody to do is to buy Ubisoft. Because, you know, yes, there's bad faith actors there as well, but like that is the only AAA company I really truly feel that was they were risk averse. Like they'll make games for.
They're on the cusp, Joe, and I say that because look, again, I don't want to.
COVID's hit them really bad.
Yeah, I don't want to derail your point, but if you look at what they're doing with their IPs, their desperation moves.
I mean, with the whole NFTs,
it's very similar to what happened at the end with Bethesda, right? The Fallout 76, the one with the Wolfenstein with the daughters, those were literally thrown together to make money.
And I mean, like, look at Extraction. That's a great point. Like, even Extraction, all the reviews are just like, big woof. So to me, though, when I take a look at Ubisoft, and you're right, I it would really suck, but I think COVID's hit them in a very, very strong way, maybe even impacted them more than Activision. Nonetheless, they make risks. They support all platforms when they come out. They're always supporting them. I feel like they're a great partner to have. They'll go out there and make a Mario game, weird VR stuff, transmedia stuff. Werewolf Within was a great goddamn movie. Like, they do different stuff, and you're right. Not every one of them hits, but it'd be sad to see them be bought out by some company, and I can't.
Like, it would be devastating to see Tencent come in and buy them.
Yeah. So to me, it's like, I don't want EA. To me personally, I'm like, so, all right, I'm Jim Ryan. What do I want and what do I need? Right. So why isn't it EA? It's not just the simple fact that we don't have the money, but you're saying,
their market cap value is $38 billion. By the way.
Yeah. You're taking a look at Madden and FIFA and you're like, whoa, those are huge IPs to get, but you don't own those IP, and even EA doesn't. So, you don't want to deal with that. Well, let's talk about that WB, right? I don't want Rocksteady without Batman. Right, or Suicide Squad.
Speak on that, because you said something to me in a private conversation that was very interesting.
Yeah, you buy these studios, you don't own the IP. You have to then license these IP.
License, and that's something that Microsoft would not do. I don't think Sony would do,
because they talked about metaverse and their characters and their universe. Everybody's chasing the metaverse in their own different ways. So when Xbox bought Activision, they took a look at their IP. And they're like, oh, you own all these? That's great. Like, as much as I'd love to see like the X-Men game come back, that's not coming back, right? So they want to own these IP. So yeah, like the cool ones that would be dope would be like WB and stuff for sure. But if I'm Sony, I like what one of the people said earlier. First off, they're gonna make smaller purchases and probably some cool. What I wish Xbox actually did again was buy out indie or AA or gun for hire developers like Obsidian or Ninja, because still Ninja Theory and Obsidian are my favorite acquisitions from Xbox. They get me excited way more than anything we're talking about here. That's what probably Sony wants or needs to do. If I was Sony, real talk, and I know there's
one company that you said in a private conversation, I hope you reiterate on it.
Tell me if I don't, because there's one that has deals in other places. So I doubt it. I'm not a lawyer, so I'm just going to say it's impossible. The one thing that I would like is they go out to Remedy and go, hey, Remedy, what's up?
That's the one. Yes.
I heard you're working on stuff.
Sony company. It just seems like a place that I know that they made games for Xbox, and there was originally a deal
Crossfires in there, but and they've made a few deals with Epic. It comes down to the fact of like some developers don't like. There's been developers that have come across acquisitions and said no because they really want that independence, like all of it. So there are probably ones that would say no, but like. On the publisher side, my thing is, guys, I'm not a good business person because I don't want to rip, games away from people. I really don't. So like, I don't want them to go out there by EA. I don't want them, people to lose out on Dead Space. I don't want them to go out there and buy Ubisoft because I want, Mario plus Rabbids still. I think there are some that make sense culturally for that brand, and it is the safe bet that is Crystal Dynamics. And I would be more okay with it because, when we take a look at the PlayStation acquisitions, most of the time they have deep-seated relationships with them. And what better one than, Square? So I think Square does make sense, and you get these awesome, story-based
Final Fantasies, all that.
like games, and you get the RPGs that people care for. But at the end of the day, it even that acquisition doesn't matter because you don't have Call of Duty anymore. So you have to go out there and now buy content because content is king now. It's not consoles. We've been saying that for years, and now today has really proven that. And so to me, it's like, publishers would be great, but I'd rather them take that money, infuse it into themselves, continue what they're doing, like Haven, Firewalk, all those studios that are making stuff for them. Yeah, when those deals are done and they see that let's just say Haven is the next Call of Duty, and they go out there purchase them, or like Firewalk, right? Maybe that game doesn't work out and they scrap it and they don't purchase them. It gives them leeway. So continue the partnerships, continue the smaller acquisitions where it makes sense. That's what I would like to see the most. But I do also understand that now they need a broader catalog. But I would also warn that with a broader catalog also means a larger amount of operating costs. So there's a lot of math that comes in here. I would like them to do all sorts of things, but at the end of the day, it comes down to money. And at the same exact time, they do now need to be competitive on a different wavelength. I do want to say one more thing. Xbox doesn't want PlayStation. They're not here to kill them.
No,
we talked about this before the show.
Anyone that's none of these people want to see the other one die. That's a reality.
When Microsoft looks at the landscape, this purchase is to cement their place here in this community, right, in this industry, and scare off other giants that are looking to get in here. Microsoft would much rather have Sony PlayStation as their competitor
than Amazon or Google
or whatever, because they're all dipping their toes into it. Like Luna is straight up a test, right? Like Amazon has roots in this industry.
Well, they
powers games like Fortnite
on Luna that's only available there. It's that's action RPG.
New World or something like that.
New World, and it's doing very well for them.
Yeah, so don't count these companies out. If they have to go out there and buy a publisher so that you have to come over and play Far Cry somewhere, they will do it. Yeah. So to me, I think they're really looking at it going, I'd rather have Nintendo and Sony as my competition than Apple or Amazon. So that's really what I want to, because I see a lot of people going, well, PlayStation's dead. And really it comes down to like, what does PlayStation want to be at the end of the day? Because it could be a Nintendo and they'd be fine.
Yes. Yeah, Nintendo's doing just fine.
You're doing fine.
And they're playing 720p.
The thing about Nintendo though that they have over PlayStation and Xbox is that Nintendo fans support literally every single thing. Like it doesn't
every game that they come out with
like 30
is
million.
a $10 million copy, 15, 20 million copy seller. They got a Pokemon coming out. They got an open world Kirby. Just out of curiosity, how well do you? I'm invested for 2 copies each for me and my nephew Tyler. I can't wait to play those games.
Yeah. Like PlayStation ain't going out of business if they keep on putting out God of Wars that sell 20 million units, right? Like likewise with Nintendo. Nintendo ain't going anywhere if they can make Animal Crossing sell 30 million units. That's crazy. So it's like, to me, like I'm comfortable. I never understood this like the first place mentality, because it's like, who gives a shit? I'm not getting any money if Xbox does better or worse. PlayStation isn't giving me an extra chunk of change if they're number 1 or number 2. It's really just where I find my enjoyment. And you don't need to go out there and validate your enjoyment because it's yours. And don't let people try to take that from you. I know that a little bit of a tangent, but it really is. I've seen a lot of people
really emotional.
Emotional. And also there are some people that are upset, and deservedly so, because yeah, maybe they like PlayStation.
Well,
and
you know
don't
what
wanna
it
play
is
Call of Duty.
also
That's fair.
the talk of the force. I'm being forced to now buy an Xbox. Well,
Yeah.
technically you're not. You don't have to buy an Xbox, and I said this numerous times in many conversations. The difference between SIE and the way Microsoft is doing things, and things will change with Sony when Spartacus, whatever that turns out to
Oh
be,
yeah, we know
And
it's happening.
Spartacus
We know
needs
it's
to be
happening.
what the PlayStation fans want it to be.
Yes.
Yep.
I see a lot of people like it has to do this to compete with Game Pass. It's like, no, it has to do this to make sure that its audience is happy. Because right now, the audience is concerned and worried for the brand, and you need to wipe that worry away.
Proposition is, I'm going to be honest with you guys. For me personally, the value proposition is the as someone that's going to subscribe. As long as the
Yeah.
value proposition is there, is something that I think is for me at the forefront of the conversation. And Sony kind of being where Sony is, they're not very transparent sometimes.
Yeah.
We don't know the crux. We know that there's 3 tiers, and again, this is not from Sony. This is rumors. We don't know if this in fact is true. They need they need to be more forthcoming on what it's going to be and what value it's going to offer. But Big Cloud, before I get to you, let me thank Kingfish 737, drops an outstanding $5 super chat, and I've been hearing this all day long. Please bring back the true crime series, Activision.
Oh
LA.
Yes!
Forgot about the true crime. Yeah,
I
New York
love
City.
it.
Yeah.
Why do they need GTA when you got True Crime, which was
True
obviously the better
Crime
choice?
Was dope. Dude.
Dope. My mom let me play that one because I was playing as a cop. I remember that. I was like, no, you're a cop. You're not a gangster. You're not whatever.
A gangster.
Yeah. It's like, you can't have sex with hookers, mom, I promise. And damn it, did you do the same stuff in that game?
as a police officer.
And it had dismemberment too as well.
Yeah, man, dude. Who was that?
True Crime was who asked about True Crime? I believe. Hold on, I'm going to pull up a super chat. I'm going to throw it up on everyone so everyone could see.
We got him solo.
That was Kingfish.
And Kingfish, Lord of the Sea, my man, another $1 million idea. You crazy son of a gun, you did it.
Let's get that guy signed. Let's get Ham Solo and him signed almost instantaneously. Those are a magnificent ideas. And real quick, Kay Asante, good generous friend of the program, my brother personally. We talk at least 3-4 times a week, and he's all the way on the other side of the country. He says this after dropping a $5 super chat: salute to my PlayStation brethren, loving this conversation on the Guitar Hero idea. Guitar Hero VR already exists on Oculus Rift and is indeed that amazing. I did not know
No way. Kay Asante, shoot me a link to this. Ham Solo, I think now you're wanted for libel or whatever. Let me see. If you could do the same old, like if I'm playing Freebird and I'm looking at my hands playing Freebird.
I played over and over and over again, dude.
You're playing Johnny Be Good and you start messing up and your hands start going invisible. God damn, I got ideas. I just have them right here. They're free.
Bay Area, good friend of the show. He drops a $5 super chat and says, hey, what's up, Boom? Bad Bit and BitCloud. Good show as usual. Seeing 700 plus people in the chat. Hey, people, hit the like button. I didn't even realize that we are past 750 people, which is bonkers. I usually get 3. I'm happy with that. This is insane. If you are enjoying the program, please do hit it. And we have Space Shot in the chat. He drops a $5 super chat. And welcome to the program there, Space Shot. He says, Space Shot, I should say. He says Sony and Microsoft worry more about Tencent, Amazon, and the like than each other, and that's very true. They are like brothers who see an innovation coming. And you know something, I know that we go into one hates the other, and it becomes the whole I hate you because you're this, you hate me because I'm that. Sony and Microsoft are kind of not like that. A lot of them are really good friends behind the scenes. I mean, like really good friends. It's just healthy competition. And I think that super chat is just completely on the nail, because both companies worry about Tencent. Tencent is the richest company in the world. It's the 1, 2, and 3 after this deal. If you start getting into it's a monopoly. Even with this deal, Microsoft's still number 3.
Yeah.
It's Tencent, it's Sony, and then it's Microsoft, folks. In the gaming world, that those are 1, 2, and 3. That's an absolute fact. But let's get BitCloud Gaming. You know, BitCloud, you have been always very forthcoming, which is why I love having you a part of the programs that you're on. It's why your channel has seen the incredible growth. It's why you are currently working with IGN. You've always been very fair with your PlayStation commentary. You call them out when they need to it. You cheer them on when they do something you like. The question that I gave to Joe, I'll reiterate to you. What does SIE and Jim Ryan do now?
Well, first of all, you got to be aggressive. I'm talking
Yes.
PS3, Sony.
Mhm.
I need these games to not only hit different, I need these games more consistent.
Yes.
I need you to be more open with the community on Twitter if you need to, because that's one
Great
thing.
point.
That's the main thing, man.
Yeah, transparency. We talk about this all the time. Transparency is key. There's been multiple times, whether it be game announcements, whether it be information or rumors, and Sony's just super quiet in the room here and not saying a word. And Microsoft usually is either quick to debunk or say something or just tweet something with the community. Microsoft's done a better job in terms of just being there and being open, I would say, with their audience. Sony has not done anything of that nature. And I'm gonna tell you right now, these state of plays as of late, and Joe, you can vouch for me. These state of plays as of late, they have not been greatness. I'm gonna tell you right now, they have not been greatness, nor have they hit the way people or a lot of dudes like the cap for PlayStation like to make you believe, like, oh, they're amazing, or these are game changers. I'm like, stop. They have not
State of plays, man.
State of play.
State of play needs to change into 3 separate things. Yeah. You need indie state of play.
Yes,
you need the classic 100%. State of plays that we know. The deep dives, those are great. And then you got the future game show. The fact that they're all called the same thing for the most part, other than whatever. But I agree.
And people might say, because somebody said Sean Layden in the chat. It's funny. A lot of people think that, but the thing is, Sean Layden, this whole thing was going to happen regardless. Even with Sean Layden
I agree, 100%.
Yeah, because that was what the company was going. They go by the market. The market changes. They shift and adapt with the market. That's how it is. I said this multiple times, on my channel, and dudes act weird. So when dudes are coming at me today, because I just read a comment, they're like, "Oh, let me stop you right there, Big Cloud. All these games in Activision not going to be exclusive." I'm like, we've been down this road with
been down this road. It's happening.
We've been down this road. Yes, they have obligations. You're going to get your games that are obligated. Once that's done,
that's the one thing about Xbox. They, especially with Phil Spencer running the show, he's very. I mean, he said it in his statement to the employees. We are going to honor all contracts until they're done. He did that with Bethesda. And he's going to do that with Activision and Blizzard. That's why all of the games that we talked about earlier are coming to the PlayStation 4 and 5. That's a fact.
Yeah. And also, now that we're also here too, what else they got to do? How many times have I said with PlayStation Now, especially with you guys, that there needs to be an option to download every game?
100%.
They got to fix that.
Yeah,
got to fix, like, there are a lot of stuff that Sony's nonchalant about, that the little shills will like make you go, oh, it's not that big of a deal because we have internet, we can stream. Not everybody has internet or good internet,
or good internet for that matter.
Dude, real talk, I was gonna beat God of War the other day, like the original. I was at the end. It corrupted my save, so like it sucked. No. It not corrupted. It just wasn't there. And it hurt my feelings.
So I'm saying, like, bro, there needs to be a lot of stuff they gotta fix back to that,
and they have time.
Yeah,
and that's the thing, Big Cloud. They have almost 18 months to kind of get their affairs in order before this deal is officially through. And even at that point, there's still going to be games coming to the PlayStation 4 and 5. So this is a great opportunity for, like Joe said, for them to get weird again.
Let me address Joshua Morgan for a second. So he says PlayStation has 120 million users. Xbox has 40 million. COD isn't going to get them up there. Okay. What is the #1 game on PlayStation?
It's Call of Duty. We went over this in the beginning. It's 2019, 2020, 2021.
Yeah. When you take away the top game, which is Call of Duty on console, and put that only on Xbox or Game Pass supported platforms, you don't think that number is going to increase?
Of course,
I get it. You're a PlayStation dude. I'm a PlayStation dude. Joe is a PlayStation dude. But we need to stop that. You need to be honest. You need to be upfront. That right there is not doing it. What you're doing is showing copium. Copium is a hell of a drug. Don't get me wrong, but that's not going to get you through what I'm talking about here.
They literally just bought the most popular entertainment IP in the world.
Exactly. That name, regardless if you like the game or not, carries more weight than a new IP from PlayStation.
Yes.
It's that simple. It's the legacy. You're going to get the legacy versus a new IP. What do you think is going to do?
And the only reason why Call of Duty would stay any more than 2 to 3 years is because of that quote they said that everybody's like, isn't Sony salty? It's like, no, they're saying something because they actually need to. It's like, well, I hope you fulfill your obligations.
Yeah,
that's probably saying we still have deals with Activision at this point in time. We don't know if the Call of Duty deal wasn't renewed or not. We don't know that. Anybody trying to tell you different?
Because we're not in the boardroom. That's correct. Absolutely.
Yeah. So like again, this is a long-term problem that needs a short-term fix. Like that's what it is. And when I say that, I'm acting as though Call of Duty is gone after 2023. And yes, you got to think of it. You're right. Copium's a hell of a drug. I'm a PlayStation dude. I don't really give a shit if they make money, to be completely honest, as long as I'm enjoying myself. But like Call of Duty is their number 1 and 2 game every single year.
Yeah.
And that is suddenly gone. Sales-wise, just sales alone, that is suddenly gone. And Microsoft has the opportunity to literally wield that as a bargaining chip to get Game Pass on PlayStation, if they even want to or need to. And that's a whole separate conversation on its own, my man. So treat it like it's gone. And listen, you need to cope. But it's gone now. It's gone.
I mean, dude, there's just so many other stuff because there's so many things Sony needs to really get up to speed with. They really, really do. Like we're hearing stuff about dynamic theme stuff finally being added to the system. I'm like, why wasn't that there to begin with? You know, bro, there's a lot of stuff you got to fix with PlayStation. But at the same time, when it comes to basics like this, Sony's been good. Like they have the studios and we know they can push whatever the hell they need to push. The problem is the motivation. I felt like it never was there because they've been number 1 for so long. You know what I mean? Microsoft was in the side. Now that Microsoft literally bought the red carpet, so to speak, from them when it comes to games like a game like Call of Duty, which is one of the leading forces to success for a console, you have to really look at the studios. They have to really go back in their arsenal and go, damn, what can we bring back? Okay, you know what? That's SOCOM. Okay, that's definitely getting greenlit.
You know what? That's an app. You know, I'll say this. And me and Big Cloud have had this conversation. We're both huge SOCOM fans.
Yeah,
we've said, scratching the head, like I don't understand how this isn't a part of Sony proper. But this might motivate them to actually go out and say, you know something, we're going to bring the masses who have been asking for this, a AAA, big budgeted, where you get your multiplayer, which we've all been asking for on Sony, and you get your story-driven single player experience that you're used to on PlayStation, and they give you both. And this could be one of the driving forces to push that into reality.
Yeah. No, that's absolutely true. Like there's so many games like that should happen. Like I know we're talking about consolidation, like what Joe was talking about. Imagine if they went back, like if they didn't screw up and they let Ready at Dawn get away.
I know.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Ready at Dawn would have gotten that second chance. I really do think that would have happened, and we would have gotten the true successor to the Order. But maybe that's down the road. Maybe we will have that comeback. Maybe a deal is something they're working on down the road for that to make that happen.
Resistance has got to come back. We're hearing that actually
desperate times like this calls for extreme desperate measures, and you really got to go back. What I mean by this, I'm not talking about pushing VR. PSVR is going to do good. We're not talking about VR. We're talking about pushing.
If you didn't know, and let me just stop you there because I just found out this, and I am through the roof excited. One of the launch titles that has been confirmed, Half-Life Alyx, ladies and gentlemen, for PlayStation VR 2.0. That's freaking bonkers because I don't have a PC to play that. I have a VR unit, but I don't have the PC. So that's a day one. And of course, you're getting Horizon. So if you just launch with those two games, sell it to me right now.
Yeah. See, like there's There's just tons of games in Sony's library that we're not seeing, and we don't get mentions of.
Well, you
And
said something interesting. It's the transparency and the one
Sly
thing
Cooper, you know.
the one thing that we haven't seen since I think it was it Joe? Refresh my memory. The Year of Dreams. That was 2015?
2016.
16. That was the Year of Dreams where we got a chance to see Shenmue. We got a chance to see Final Fantasy, Spider-Man, Days Gone. It was ridiculous. On to what you're saying, BitCloud. Do they, not today, not next week? I don't even know if you do it at before the E3 that we're not going to have. They're going to have their own show. In order to rally the troops, do they do a Year of Dreams in 2022? Do you think it's necessary?
Do you know they should do? They should do what we do as content creators. You know how we do that thing called a content creator feature? Or they need to feature a lot of these passion projects. Somebody made a damn dinosaur from Jurassic Park in Dreams, and it looked insane. And you know what it brought? And you know what it made me think of? Boom, Dino Crisis.
Oh God, yes, that's that.
It's like, dude, a lot of people have made a lot of crazy stuff. Like, dudes are making the SpongeBob world in Dreams. People have made, again, like I just said, the dinosaur. There's so much stuff people are making in that, and it's like, dog, you're giving future content creators development tools to make stuff. Yeah. Why aren't you taking and dipping into this for information of what people would absolutely want or would like to see? Like, contrary to Popper Pin, I get it. You know, zombies are a trend. Kids nowadays, they see zombies. Me and Boom, Bad Bit, we know something a little different. Dinosaurs used to scare the shit out. Excuse me. When we were younger and we had these more ambitious horror games, dinosaurs were at the center.
Dino Crisis, still one of my favorite IPs. And also, how doesn't that game exist in 2022? Yeah. I don't.
And also, too, let me just throw this out here, too. And Bad that you already know. Because with an announcement this big, Sony, now is the time to announce Bloodborne 2.
Yes.
Bloodborne remake. Now is the time. Yes. Now is the time to announce it. This is too big of an announcement for you to go, okay, you know what? I'm just gonna say, hey guys, so we got some future stuff down the road. No. You need to build faith within your community right now and go, hey guys,
they need a Year of Dreams. They need a 2022. You're not gonna, first of all, this deal, if you didn't know, folks, it's been going on for almost a year.
Yeah, Metal Gear Solid. It's another one.
Yeah, that if in fact that is already in the works. And BitCloud, you and I have been hearing this forever. Yep. Go out there and do a Year of Dreams and say Bloodborne 2, Metal Gear Solid remake, whatever else that floats your boat, so to speak, and get you excited as a fan of PlayStation, and do that. I just hope that they just don't sit on their hands. That's my only concern. I do want them to respond. I think that they have to respond. I'm not saying go out and buy Sega. Could they? Yeah. Sure, they could. They go out and buy.
That's not the answer.
That's not the answer. That is correct. And Sega, listen. I know Everborn, if you're listening, your ears are bleeding. I love Sonic. I think he's an incredible mascot. But that to pick up Sega now, there's a lot of back end work that you have to do. And I don't know if Sony wants to do that. They want to strike now.
And shout out to Keasante. You're doing God's work. Holy shit, this is real. Guitar Hero is real.
It is real. Real quick, Space Monkey 0899 drops a $5 super chat and says, Sony, this is a great point. Sony needs to focus again on the Japanese games, even the Japanese fan service games. I definitely think you are certainly onto something with that.
You know what I am too as well. Like, again, obviously, we can't get the studios, right? But that doesn't say anything about the IPs. If I'm Sony right now, I'm pressuring, or I'm trying to work with From Software to make sure that PlayStation is the home for Souls games.
100%.
Like, for example, Sekiro. Sekiro was well received. Why not get Sekiro on PlayStation? Lock that down. Why not lock
also,
down
here's something. Here's something from Gene Park that just came out. Is a tweet. Apple, Google, Facebook, Netflix are encroaching in on gaming, and Microsoft is staking the claim here. And from Phil Spencer's quote, Nintendo's not going to do anything that damages gaming in the long run because that's the business they're in. Sony is in the same. So this is Phil Spencer saying this. Sony is the same, and I trust them. What did I just say, guys?
And that's coming from Phil Spencer.
What did I just say? It's unvindicated moments afterwards. They don't want to kill or hurt PlayStation.
No.
They don't want Apple. They don't want Facebook, Meta. They don't want Google. They don't want Amazon in here. This is the true threat. Fanboys, both of the green and the blue. We must band together.
Wait.
Evil is encroaching.
Yes. No. You guys are all right, but you know something? I'm gonna throw a comment up, let you guys respond to it. UK Lad, great friend of the program, great friend of the community. Look at the look at where'd you go? These are two that you have: Parasite Eve and Siphon Filter. Holy shit! I mean, give this man a bag of money.
Yeah, I remember that back. Yeah. It got retreadmarked. I think that's another one. That's another surprise.
And rumor has it they were working on a game that's similar to Splinter Cell. What could be similar to? That's happening. Parasite Eve. Give it to me. Insert it into my veins. What's the one? The Dragoon game that Kyle keeps on talking about. Yeah, he's like, come on, do it. I need it. And you know what? For Kyle's sake, do that. I need it. To see my friend happy.
Panzer Dragoon Saga is probably one of the most.
If I get a Bloodborne 2, guys, just know I'm
disappeared. I'm
deceased.
Yeah, like you're not gonna see the big.
I'm in heaven. It's it. And it could be like stick figures, and this is Bloodborne 2, and I'm just gonna be in awe. Well, so again,
yes.
We are not your enemy, Xbox people.
No.
Your friends.
You know, in closing of the show, which wound up running 90 minutes, and I didn't realize it was going to do. I
had a blast, dude.
Yeah, I had an absolute blast, and of course, you guys delivered like you always do. I'm happy as an Xbox fan. I'm very excited for the 8 developers that were stuck in a rut for the last 5 years, making only Call of Duty games. I'm very excited with the IP that come along, especially the legacy IP. I am looking well past just simple Call of Duty. Is it important to the conversation? Yes. But for me, there's just so many incredible older IPs that could come back in a big way. And now you have studios that could deliver what Cognito's been talking about for years, and #+1. Any one of these studios can deliver that #+1. Just one, I should say, and I'm excited. But I'm even more excited to see what Sony does next, to see how Jim Ryan responds, to see if this changes the scope of what Spartacus was, because in its current rumored format, I'm not in. I want value for my monthly fee. What they're talking about isn't value. Does this big move change the trajectory of what this is going to be? We don't know, because we don't even know what the hell it is if we only have rumors. But it's going to be interesting as a game fan, video game fan. Of course, I support all three. I'm an Xbox guy. I love Xbox. Nothing wrong with that. But I also love Sony for a specific reason. I want to see them get crazy. I can't wait to see what Twisted Metal looks like. I can't wait to see if Order 1886 gets a second shot. Maybe Days Gone 2. It comes into the conversation.
Boom, especially when we saw the PS3 gen compared to here. Remember variety?
Incredible generation.
Remember, like, it was a lot of variety though in the styles. I expect
very different, very weird PlayStation.
I expect that to come back.
I hope so,
because that's what drove it. Was creative, very creative. You know what I mean? Like God of War 3, comparing that to God of War 2018, we all agree 2018 is a great game,
leaps and bounds better.
But if I had to tell you the overall brutality in general, God of War 3 is the template.
It's vicious.
That's the God of War I thought we were going to be getting but
Well,
we're got different
I mean,
style.
there was a story there, but not
Yeah.
really like 2018. 2018, first of all, really zeroed in on the father-son element,
Yeah. That
which is
it's more
something
of a
we didn't. Yeah,
sympathetic
yeah,
Kratos. God
yeah.
of War 3 was more like this dude is here to kill.
Yeah, yeah, and I loved every minute. But listen, ladies and gentlemen, that is going to do it for the special edition of the Xbox Factor podcast, a PlayStation gamer's perspective. I want to thank the over 750 people that tuned in. Wow. I mean, if you're new, I want to appeal to your humanity. Help me get to 10K. If you enjoyed the podcast, and Joe had to bounce out of here, so we'll get him. Or, I'll do his outro for him because he had something to do. Please consider subscribing to the channel. We are doing this again. Oh, there he is, Joe. You lost. I thought we lost your brother. Oh, you're
You
muted,
bro.
I opened up a window for work and it crashed Steam.
all right. Well, listen. Let's get to the outros, and we'll start with Joe first. Joe, we were talking in the pregame. I really want you to sell your brand. The Trophy Room is my favorite place to get PlayStation news, right along with BitCloud's PlayStation podcast. You and Kyle, according to you, and as content creators, this happens not often, but when it does, you have to talk about it.
Yeah.
Your top 5 of all time.
Of all time.
I want people to go and check this out. Please tell everyone about it. And where could they find this epic PlayStation podcast?
Yeah, man. So you can find the Trophy Room as always. You can find us on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. We also have the video version on YouTube as well. The Trophy Room, a PlayStation podcast, where me and my best friend Kyle talk about the latest and greatest in all things PlayStation. This episode, we talked about a little piece of news called the Xbox buying Activision and what that means for PlayStation, and giving our raw reactions. And it's really cool because you kind of see Kyle go through all stages of grief, and we finally get to acceptance at the end of it. But it's a really great conversation. Some points I echoed here on this show where it wasn't us trying to be lawyers and trying to say why this is unlawful or whatever, the dumb shit you're seeing. It really is just a conversation of like, yeah, this isn't the greatest, but you know what? The opportunities here are actually exciting, for both Microsoft and PlayStation. So if you want a PlayStation podcast that actually talks about PlayStation, and when it references Xbox, it's just not a bashing spree.
Yes.
Because I'm tired of those shows, and who they are. They're so boring. You know what they're gonna say. And it's oversaturated, and they're all blacklisted anyway. So like it's just like they are. Like nobody likes them.
Oh, anyway. That. Oh, that hurts.
So like, it's a different show, and where you have some real conversations there. So if you like it, check it out. And if you don't, you know what? You go on the YouTube comments and you yell at me. You go,
well, where can people check it out on the RSS feeds? Because that's super important.
Yeah, no, that's really where all of our listeners are. Apple Podcasts, Spotify. We're right now doing an Elden Ring giveaway. If you rate us 5 stars on Spotify, you're entered to win. Make sure you at me, at Mr. Bad Bear, or at PS Trophy Room. You're entered to win a copy of Elden Ring. And if you also have a PlayStation lying around, rate us 5 stars on Apple Podcasts, and you get entered to win a copy of Horizon Forbidden West, which looks awesome. And Angela Bassett could step on my chest, but that's either here nor there.
And BitCloud Gaming, obviously you're going to be returning to the chair tomorrow with Breakfast at Boom, 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. But please, by all means, sell your brand. Talk about the 10K for your channel, what you got going on, and more importantly, where you're going to be tomorrow afternoon. Is there going to be a new episode?
Oh, absolutely. We talking about 10K. You're about to hit 10K. We're about to get there. Everybody hit that subscribe button. Seriously.
Thank you, sir. Thank
10K. You. Yeah, it's for me. It's BitCloud Gaming, YouTube, Twitch, Twitter. I work with IGN now, so I do upload, but it's not crazy sporadic like I used to. I do get my opinions out there when I can. RGT is a podcast that I host on Fridays. I interview a lot of people that I've met within the industry, and I I have a lot of interviews lined up. Got one that these guys are still waiting for the announcement for. I'm just going to shock the hell out of a lot of you, but
it's pretty big.
It's
I can't wait for you to
huge.
announce it to the world. Yeah, it's big.
It's some huge announcements. A lot of
Out
stuff.
of all the guests that I've seen everyone have, probably the biggest.
Yes, indeed.
It's a lot. It's pretty big, guys. A lot of stuff planned this year. It's really there's so many words I could say for this year, but a lot of stuff to look forward to.
Go subscribe to BitCloud, man, because he literally is one of the most, in my books, most well-respected Sony creators out there.
I appreciate it. Yeah, but it's BitCloud, YouTube, Twitch, Twitter. That's you guys who find me. Of course, I'll be here. Hopefully, I'll make it here tomorrow for Breakfast with Boom.
Yes.
But thank you for having me. Of course, as always. Always a pleasure with Mr. Badbit. I'm waiting for my invite to the trophy room so I can destroy that podcast. No.
Yes. Love it.
But no, looking forward to jumping on that. But yeah, it's a lot. And to everybody in the chat, you guys enjoy yourselves, have fun. See you guys tomorrow if you want to join us. RGT podcast. We have our good friend Nathan. Paul Hunter. From Twitter. He's one of the insiders, usually breaks all the info for you guys on Twitter when it comes to PlayStation. So he's going to be joining us tomorrow. So looking forward to that.
Nice. Well, listen, everyone, thank you so much for tuning in. Again, if you're new, please consider subscribing. If you enjoy the podcast, hit that like button, share this on social media, and I'll close out the show with something that's important to me. Hopefully one day it'll be important to you. And that's something that my pops taught us when we were kids. And he said, Craig, listen and listen well. Treat others how you want to be treated. Also, it doesn't cost anything to be nice. You live by those rules, and I can guarantee you're going to have an awesome day. So take care, everyone, and we'll see you next week on the newest episode.
Oh, you got another super chat.
Oh, I did. Okay, hold on a sec. Wait, let me pull that up before we get Crazy Lou Gaming. He says this after dropping a $5 super chat. Let's get Boom to 10K. If Boom reaches 10K, the crazy one is going to give not one, not two, but 3 giveaways. Watch my Twitter for announcements. Thank you, Crazy Lou. Mr. Joanna Dark is also going to be giving something away once I hit 10K. I can't thank you guys enough. But listen, folks, enjoy the rest of your day, and we will definitely see you back here on the newest episode of the Xbox Factor podcast.